Okay, so picture this. There's a massive storm brewing, just, chaos, and then right in the middle of it, a voice speaks directly to Job.
Yeah, and it's not a gentle voice, is it? It's a challenge, a real direct challenge.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today, this moment from Job chapter 38. The voice hits him with this fundamental question, basically.
Mm.
Where were you when all the important stuff got started?
It really is audacious, isn't it? After all Job's arguments, his questions about suffering based on his own viewpoint, this just cuts right through.
Totally shifts the perspective.
It says, forget your human scale for a second. Let's talk about, well, everything else. It forces Job and us, really, to measure our own tiny understanding against something immense.
And it starts right at the bottom, literally, the Earth's foundation.
The voice asks, point blank, were you there when I laid the foundation? Do you even understand how it was done?
Like who decided how big it would be? Who stretched the measuring line?
Right. It frames creation like this huge, deliberate building project. Footings, cornerstone, measurements.
A cosmic construction site.
Pretty much. And it asks Job, hey, did you help? Did you even see the plans?
And it wasn't quiet work either. The text says the morning stars sang together.
And the angels shouted for joy.
Yeah. What does that add? That celestial choir.
Well, it suggests creation wasn't just a physical thing. It was an event. A joyful, significant event recognized way beyond the human sphere.
Right.
It paints it as this moment of absolute wonder, something that made the cosmos itself react. It hammers home the glory of it, something maybe Job had lost sight of in all his pain.
Okay, so the Earth is founded with this cosmic celebration. Then the focus shifts to the sea, maybe the most chaotic thing Job knew.
Right. Who shut the sea behind doors when it burst out like it was being born?
Bursting forth from the womb, yeah. It's such strong imagery. The sea is this powerful, untamable force.
The voice describes containing it, shutting it up.
And the details. Making clouds its garment, wrapping it in darkness, setting doors and bars. It's like wrestling this wild thing into submission.
Exactly like that. Clothing it, locking it up, which leads straight to that command.
This far you may come and no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt.
That's the key, isn't it? It's not just raw power, it's imposing order, setting boundaries on chaos itself, this thing that feels overwhelming to us, under complete control.
Okay, ground laid, sea contained. What about time? The start of the day.
Another shift. Have you ever given orders to the morning? Told the dawn where to appear?
I mean, obviously not. It just happens.
But that's the point, right? It happens because it's ordered. We rely on these cycles, but we don't command them. It highlights that even the most basic rhythm of life is divinely managed.
And the dawn has a job to do, apparently.
Yep.
Taking the earth by the edges and shaking the wicked out.
Yeah, it's striking. Dawn isn't just pretty light, it's active, forceful even.
How so?
As light comes, the world gets defined. Like clay getting shaped by a seal or details appearing on clothes. Things become clear.
Ah, okay. Visibility.
Right. And for those who like the dark for their bad deeds, that light is bad news. They're denied their light, their power, their upraised arm is broken. The day itself becomes an instrument.
Wow. Okay, from the surface and sky, down deep, way beyond where people go.
Have you journeyed to the springs of the sea? Walked the ocean floor?
Places nobody could reach back then? Still can't, really, not most of it.
Precisely. It emphasizes the limits of human exploration, places we just cannot go, highlighting what we don't, maybe can't.
No. And then it gets even deeper, existentially. Have you seen the gates of death? Or the gates of the shadow of death?
Yeah, that's heavy. Not literal gates, obviously. It's symbolic language for that ultimate unknown. Death, loss, despair.
Things Job was wrestling with directly.
Exactly. Asking if he's seen these gates just underscores how terrifyingly mysterious death is, a mystery only this voice truly comprehends.
Then it zooms back out a bit, to the sheer size of the world we can see. Have you comprehended the vast expanses of the earth?
It feels like a step back, but it's just as humbling, isn't it? Can anyone truly grasp the scale of this planet?
No way.
And it connects that physical size to light and darkness. Like, where do they live? What's the path to their houses?
As if light and dark are actual things with addresses.
Can you take them there? Do you know the way? And then comes that zinger.
Oh, yeah. Surely, for you were already born. You have lived so many years.
Ouch. That just completely pulls the rug out from under any human claim to deep knowledge, right?
Totally.
It highlights how absurd it is for us with our short lives to think we understand the fundamental workings of everything. It's a sharp jab.
So fundamental forces,
Yeah.
then weather. But not just weather happening, weather
Okay.
as a stored resource.
Right. Have you been inside the storehouses of snow? Seen the vaults of hail?
Storehouses. Like God's keeping reserves?
And not just reserves, but reserves for specific times of trouble, days of war and battle. It suggests weather isn't random, it's managed, deployed, even strategically.
Wow. And who directs lightning? Or scatters the east wind? Where does lightning go when it disperses? Where do the winds spread out from?
It's asking about the control room, basically. Do you know the distribution network? Can you orchestrate these powerful events?
And it mentions their purpose too, cutting channels for rain, watering desolate land.
Yes, showing power not just in storms, but in providing life, even where no one lives to see it.
Which leads to these really fundamental origin questions, phrased like parenting.
Does the rain have a father? Who fathers the dewdrops? Whose womb does the ice come from? Who gives birth to the frost?
It's so poetic.
It really connects these everyday things directly to a source, a creator. It asks, are you the parent of a raindrop, a frostflake? It underlines that none of this is by chance.
And it even mentions water changing state, becoming hard as stone, the deep freezing over, control over matter itself.
Total control. Then the view pulls way, way out to the stars.
Constellations. Can you bind the Pleiades? Or loose the cords of Orion?
These familiar star patterns, the question is about controlling their very structure. Can you rearrange the stars?
Or command their appearance? Bring them out in their seasons, lead the bear and its cubs across the sky.
Can you manage the celestial timetable? And then it gets explicit about cosmic rules.
Do you know the laws of the heavens? Can you set up God's dominion over the earth?
That's huge. It posits that there are fundamental laws governing everything, laws we didn't write and don't fully grasp, and it contrasts our ignorance with the power that established those laws and governs by them.
So the predictable universe runs on a code we can barely read.
Pretty much. Then back to the atmosphere, but now it's about direct commands. Can you shout at the clouds and make it rain?
Can you send lightning bolts on errands? Did they report back to you? Here we are.
I love that part. Lightning bolts like messengers checking in.
It really emphasizes absolute obedience, doesn't it?
Total command. Can you do that? And then just when you think it's all external power, bam, it shifts inward.
To the human heart and mind. Who put wisdom in the heart? Or gave understanding to the mind?
That's such a crucial turn. It links the power that controls the cosmos to the source of our own ability to think, to reason, to even have wisdom.
So our very consciousness comes from the same source.
That's the implication. The source of stars and storms is also the source of thought itself.
And right after that, it connects wisdom back to the weather again.
Yeah. Who has the wisdom to count the clouds? Who can tip over the water jars of heaven? Especially when the ground is hard and dry.
Linking calculation and wisdom to the practical act of bringing rain.
Suggesting there's a profound wisdom in the natural systems, a wisdom we lack to control them.
Okay, so from cosmos to consciousness. And then it zooms way down to animals needing food.
Right to the basics. Do you hunt for the lioness? Do you satisfy the hunger of young lion?
Are you the provider for these fierce predators?
And even smaller, more specific. Who provides food for the raven when its babies cry out and wander because they're hungry?
Why end there? With a raven chick.
I think that's the whole point, really. The sheer scope of it all.
You mean from laying the Earth's foundation?
Then to controlling the sea, arranging stars, understanding death, commanding lightning, gifting wisdom.
All the way down to making sure one specific baby bird gets fed.
Exactly. The takeaway is this power, this knowledge, this meticulous care extends everywhere. From the absolute grandest scale to the tiniest detail. Total involvement.
So looking back at all those questions in chapter 38, there's definitely a pattern. Huge cosmic stuff.
Foundations, seas, stars, laws.
Down to the incredibly specific and seemingly small.
Dewdrops, frosts, ravens, yeah. It's this control over absolutely everything.
And it just completely dwarfs Job's perspective, his suffering, his demands.
Right. It stands in stark contrast to human limits. The voice isn't just saying, I'm powerful. It's asking over and over, can you do any of this? And the silence is the answer.
So these questions, they weren't just for Job back then. They resonate with us, you, the listener today.
Absolutely. They're a profound reminder of how complex, how vast, how intricate the universe is, and how much is just beyond us. Beyond our full understanding, definitely beyond our control.
It really forces you to acknowledge those limits.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe. Consider that gap, the gap between all our human knowledge, science, philosophy, everything we try to figure out, and the kind of knowledge described here.
You mean knowing the path to where darkness lives, or the laws of heaven?
Exactly. What does this chapter suggest about knowledge itself? Is it just something we build up, piece by painstaking piece? Or is there perhaps a deeper foundational wisdom, a source that understands the whole system in a way we can only glimpse? Something to think about.